All right, good morning, guys. Well, here it's 15th of February, halfway through the month, and last night we started getting snow again, so much for that global warming BS. We got about 2 inches of fresh snow out here now. I don't expect it to last. It's wet and kind of slushy and everything, but I think it's going to go away, although they're predicting over the next few days, off and on, we're going to have more snow. So, yep, global warming at work. Anyway, haven't done a Fleabay edition for a while. Been busy with other stuff. I just got lots of stuff going on. I haven't taken the time to sit down here and do this for several reasons. I've been trying to get back into casting mode. I've had the casting furnace fired up a couple of times this year already now, and I'm still not real motivated. It's still kind of cold in the shop up front and everything, and I got stuff promised to guys that I just have not gotten done. Now, fortunately, I haven't taken payment for these. This is stuff that's work in progress, and I get a little more lethargic as the years go by. But anyway, I'll get back on that here directly and hopefully get some stuff produced. I got some machined parts to be putting out, and that's kind of the catch up on Atlas stuff. We got airplane stuff going on. Haven't wanted to sit in here because I've had the 3D printer going on building some little reloading room accessories and stuff like that, so we've had the noise from it going on in here in the office. So I'm just now getting back to doing a little Fleabay edition. Let's see if we can get this back on track again and start doing these on a regular basis. Anyway, I've already opened up to Atlas Shapers here. And that's where we're going to start out. I don't know how long I'm going to go today or this morning. I don't know what we're going to see or what's, like I said, I haven't even looked at this stuff for probably a month or so. Anyway, right off the bat, I'm seeing Atlas milling machine vices, or shaper vices. Right off the bat, here's a metal shaper milling vise and original handless, 92 vintage, $550. Buy it now. Free shipping, $550. I said these were way out of price, out of range when they were selling them for about $3 or $3.25. Now they're trying to get $5.50 for them. So let's go in and look at this one. This is a seller I do not recognize at all. A lot of feedback, so that normally tells me that they're a junk seller. They're a antique shop, something like that. Description: very nice, smooth working vise with handle as shown in pics. S792 in great working condition. Note: you get what is shown in the pictures, no swivel base. Okay, they're at least disclosing that. That I did notice right off the bat. So it's an original vise. It's only been scarfed on here. Let's see. Let's look at the big pictures. They've changed this around since I looked last. Okay, they got a bunch of pictures here. Let's look at them. There's somebody's oddball. That's not a factory vice jaw at all. This does not have jaws on it. It does have this goofy factory V block. No base. Got a drill mark there. Other than that, why it hasn't been scarfed on too bad. It doesn't look like that. The pins, I see the pin protruding on this end. What's happened is they had this apart, which, I mean, not a big deal here or there, but the screws to hold it on are busted off. That looks like, although there should be a we'll have to look at this further. We got a drill mark here. There should be 2 holes here to attach vice jaws to. Original handle, been beat on. You can see let's go back to that one. You can see where it's been beat on here. Somebody's whacked on that and mushroomed it out for whatever reason. Scarf mark back here. Scarred up pretty bad down here. These are not worth nearly the money they're asking for them. Not even close. Not even close, guys. I've been away for a while, and not that that makes any difference, but yeah, Fairmont handles had the crap beat out of the end of it. Otherwise, why would it be mushroomed out there? Too special. I've never seen that stamped on one. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, someone has machined away where the vice jaws would screw on there, because that should have come straight up and then had the jaws attached to it. That roll pin should be down in there flush. Otherwise, that is basically normal. No swivel base. Interesting. Yeah, something this has all been machined away. That normally would be, everyone I've seen, they've flattened that off, off the rough casting, but it's not been undercut like that, and it should have the two holes for the jaws. I wonder what's, yeah, see, it should have two holes like that. I mean, it's a piece of shit vise. There again, for an original vise, yes, these are nice little vices to have to your collection. For a original or for a functional vise, these are not a well-designed vise. You can find other stuff that is better suited, more functional for less money. For some reason, the clamp holes here look awful small to me. I don't know why they would be or what that would indicate, but yeah, see, we should have two holes here for a vice jaw. Now, whether it almost looks like maybe there's the remnants of one there, but I can't tell for certain. But yeah, something's been done to this. This is a $200 vise on a good day. There's nowhere near worth what they're asking for them. Anyway, let's move on and not spend too awful much time on each of these. Atlas metal Chevrolet, 1/3 horsepower motor, 1725, parts only, and they still want $200 and another $48 to ship it. What are these people thinking? These people are smoking dope. Another one, I don't recognize the seller at all, although it's got a little bit of feedback there. Why is it listed as parts only? The motor needs to be rewired. There is also a dent in the motor casing as shown in the picture. It spins free and smooth. So it's a junk motor. It's a junk motor that does not, so needs to be rewound. Well, that means it's burned up. So let's see what we've actually yeah, it's been dropped on the box, so we've got the whole back end of this is mashed in. Yeah, see, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. See, the whole thing's all mashed here. So parts, if you got a good motor shop that can do that for you and everything, of which I'm not up on, I don't know how expensive it is to have these rewound or anything. This is a $50 motor. It's only a $50 motor because you got a good pulley on the end. So $50 in shipping, which is, I wouldn't give $50 in shipping for it myself. Anyway. Okay, 7B countershaft parts, S721, S7-20 with all pulleys, $129 or best offer and free shipping. This is going to be an okay buy. There again, another seller I don't recognize, got a lot of feedback, so they're a seller, probably somebody that deals in machine tools. Although you get a bigger outfit, and usually they're not going to screw around with the Atlas stuff unless it's just a complete machine, or they figure their money's normally better spent other places. Used, good shape, free shipping to lower 48. quickly look at this. Setup. Looks to be a complete countershaft. Bracket's got the brake on it. Looks to be, well, those are both going to be original pulleys, it looks like. You know, now what the pulleys look like, they're still the rubber is on the brake. You know, I mean, this is a rebuild type thing. Got the Zerk fittings in it. Been sitting around, but from there I don't see any big scarfs on it. I don't see anything really whacked out of shape so far. Doesn't appear to have been dropped from what I can see. Everything looks okay, kind of grungy there, but you know, that where it's kind of, that may have a little whoopee in it there, but I can't say that for sure. You know, I mean, for 129 bucks, I would, this is one that I would at least take a chance on if I was looking for parts. I don't think that's a bad buy. Another milling machine vise. This is for a shaper. It does have a shaper base. $4.99 or best offer and free shipping. This is obviously going to be a better buy than the last piece of crap they were selling. No jaws on it. Okay, this is from the same seller as was was selling the countershaft assembly. First picture shows how much the vise will close. There is damage to the screw. Opens all the way with no problem. Free shipping. So we got another piece of shit here, but you know, 500 bucks. They're not worth 500 bucks. They're just not. Rusty as can be. Look at the big pictures here. I don't see, there's no jaws on it. It would probably close the rest of the way if it was had jaws on it. I guess this one's undercut a little bit too. I was thinking there, I thought the ones that I had were pretty much straight up on this, on the face there. Maybe they do have a little bit of a ledge cut into them for alignment, but see, if you've got if you know these machines, you're going to know that they take a set of vice jaws. Now look at the difference in the collar that's on here as opposed to the collar that was on the other one. I think this is the proper collar here. It looks to be a longer collar, not quite as big around, and then it had a pin in it rather than a roll pin. So that other one that they want more money for is a real piece of crap. You know, this one's rusty and grungy. And I don't think these are worth nearly what they're asking for them. I don't think these are worth 500 bucks. I think a vise in good shape, unless it's literally pristine, I don't think a vise is worth, one of these vices is worth more than about 250 bucks. Let's see, this has been drilled here. It's all, let's see, you can see the holes in the, at least here, you can see the holes that go there with it. Kind of galled up underneath. I mean, these are no great shakes. These are well used and abused pieces of crap, but they're not worth 500 bucks. You know, if somebody's given 500 bucks for these, if you guys are paying this much money for it, you're being taken. You know, I realize there's less and less of these around and stuff, and I realize price on stuff is going up, but there's got to be a limit. Now see, this is block and stud for the shapers. These are internal parts. This is from a seller that's been screwing us over for years. They're parting out a machine. They want 100 bucks for this assembly. They're not worth 100 bucks. Full assembly included. This is from a dealer that's been working us over for years, or trying to. Looks like the shaft's bent there. I mean, I could be mistaken, but screw is, I'm sure, on that. And you're not getting any better pictures than that. Let's see what we can... Yeah, look at that screw. That's all bent and all. Those are the vice grips marks on it right there. This is a piece of crap. $50 on a good day. Huh. Well, I'm glad to see in my absence that people have decided to give us a whole lot more stuff to look at for me to talk about. Here's a RAM for $50 and $92.65 shipping, $150 for a RAM. This is from the same seller as the last one, I can tell just by looking at the thumbnail here. We'll look at it quickly. See what we've got. Used Atlas shaper RAM. That's all they're going to tell you. Let's look at it very quickly and see what we see. So that's all it is a RAM. Beat the shit. Why would you want to replace your RAM? Which is why he's selling it for $50 and then trying to cheat you on shipping, because if you've got any kind of a RAM, it's going to be in at least as good condition as this is. Why would you give another $50 for this one? Horizontal mill machine knob. I got to get back on the stick and get these produced too. $25 and $18.40 shipping. These are ones I was building out of stainless steel. Now these I have not been producing these with the stud on them. That's the lock stud that will go in to lock the table. They're on both the table and the compound on the mills. On the shaper, nothing's actually coming to mind as to where these would be used on the shaper. Let's see what they say. There may be something that I'm not thinking about. Atlas 7B shaper and horizontal mill parts. So they use these on the milling machine, like I say, on both the compound and the table to lock them in position. These same ones, if you're running an for the overarm guard, this style, I'm not sure this is the proper one from there. And if you're running the arm that holds the lube assembly, why, it will take that to lock them in position. But that, to me, I believe is for the gibs, to lock the gibs on the mill. $25, used, 2 available. Wonder what kind of condition they're actually in. That's a pitted up piece of crap. Finish is flaking off of it. These are a piece of... You know, I mean, they're going to be functional, but they're not anything worth having. Here's another internal tool holder. This one's been listed. I remember this one from way back when. 7B shaper tool holder, $97.50. This is from a seller that's been around. What's he saying about it now? Or the same thing. No markings, probably shop made. He knows damn well it's shop made. This guy knows this is shop made. You can see the welds there. There's no question. This guy's been around long enough. He's just leaving that little bit of doubt to where if you're not knowledgeable enough about him that you might jump on that. No markings, maybe shop made. The originals were forgings. They are stamped with whatever manufacturer, whether it's Atlas, whether it's Williams, or you know, whatever the tool holder manufacturers were. This is the internal tool holder for that. This guy knows darn well that this is shop made. You know, we don't need to go any farther than that. He's ripping you off. Lead screw, Atlas Craftsman Harding metal A shaper horizontal mill, across $100 and $24.86. It's a gear and lead screw. You know, I'm just going to look at this look at this big picture, or this first picture. If the seller doesn't know what it is, it's not worth $100. It's worth, that setup there is worth 25 bucks. If he doesn't know what it is, it's worth 25 bucks. Only because somebody will recognize it and realize what it is and they need it. So, and there's several like that. Skip on down. Now here's a gooseneck shaper tool holder. Vintage Atlas Craftsman 10-12-inch metal lathe shaper tool bit holder. No manufacturer's markings. 99 bucks and free shipping. Let's go look at it just because. This is a shop built something or other. This is from a tool seller. Don't recognize him. Lots and lots of feedback. What's his description say? I don't recognize him at all. Vintage Atlas Craftsman 10-12 metal lathe shaper tool holder bit, 0.3 by 0.33, no manufacturer mark, shank 0.4 by 0.86. In good working condition, but has scratches, signs of use, and service marks. Please view all pictures. Yeah, see, he's not really speculating on anything. If we look at it, it may be somebody's actual manufacturer, but if you're going to the trouble as a manufacturer to build something that's professionally built, why would you not go the little bit extra and mark it? I'd guess this is shop made. Normally on the smaller machines you didn't see a gooseneck style setup on them. So I think it's probably shop made. Is it worth $100? No. Build your own. Build your own. Yeah, it's something, but it's not much. You know, that there again, that's another $25 tool. Why would you give more than that for it? Here's the milling machine crank handle. This goes for the vise on the shaper, the mill, the table on the mill, the adjustment, or no, not on the mill, the adjustment on the shaper for stroke length. 180 bucks buy it now and $6.15 shipping. And this is, I can tell from the background, this is one of our wonderful tool sellers that will screw you over. 3/8 square Fairmont B633. It's going to be original. I'm not even going to, well, we'll show a picture. Yeah, this is from one of our sellers that's been around forever. This is the only picture I'm going to show. 75 bucks. Not worth 200. These guys are smoking dope. That's what they decided to do over the holidays, was just do nothing but smoke dope, I tell you. Shaper countersap bracket, $29.99 and $8.65 shipping. You know, I think that's probably too much, but that's probably the going rate. This is from a seller that's parted out a bunch of machines. He's not anybody that I think too highly of anyway. Again, because of the prices he normally sells. $29.99, it'll bring that if somebody needs one. You know, I mean, you're going to spend that. I wouldn't like it, but if I needed one, I would suck it up and give the 30 bucks for that. That's not too far out of line for that. So there we go. Here's another milling machine vise, $530 and $95.15 shipping. Pot smokers, I tell you, this is ridiculous. Same seller, or one of our wonderful sellers, they've gotten together and decided that the $350, $400 they were asking for, they weren't making enough. And since the economy was getting worse, they decided they'd really start sticking it to everybody. So this is going to be, let's read the description. Works great. Nothing broken, nothing repaired. Works great. Only driven by a little old lady on Sundays. Okay. 530 bucks, another 100 bucks shipping. Rusted as can be. Works great. How can that possibly travel through its travel with all that shit built up on there, all that rust? Yeah, pot smokers. Okay. Rusted up. That's all I see that's wrong. It does have the T-nuts and the proper, looks to be the proper nuts. Those all look like the larger nuts. I think those are 11/16 wrench size, if I'm not mistaken. Got the nuts and everything for there. Now here on this end, maybe some of those were double nutted. You know, a lot of those had a had a thrust collar on them, and then they had the two round shanks. One of them had a solid pin in it, and I believe the other one had a spring pin in it. It may have had a solid pin too. I don't remember exactly now, but anyway, maybe they did some with nuts on them rather than the round collars with the pins to hold them. I'm not going to beat those up there. Does have jaws on them on both sides. Looks like it's been maybe scarfed a little bit on that jaw. Okay, this vise probably will clean up and work fairly well. See, this does not look original to me, although I could be mistaken. This has got okay bones, depending on how bad this is rusted up. But this would probably clean up. But there again, we're to that thing of, you know, little old lady only drove it on Sundays. This thing's been setting for years. And it's a piece of crap. Look at how rusted up it is. Look at how, chances are you're going to have some pitting on the engravings on the side of it. It does have a key. You know, this is the most complete one I've seen, but it's not worth $600 in your door. You know, they're just not. $350. You know, if you're having to buy it off of Fleabay, it's $350. I will say it is complete, it looks like. See, where it's not come clear out to the... See, that nut's not clear down flush with the end. See, I think this has been changed, which is not a big deal. But, yeah, this thing's a piece of shit. Ten 12-inch lather shaper 7B motor mount. It's an S7 108A. $67 for best offer and $24 shipping. Seller that's chosen to take advantage of us for years and years. Atlas 10 12-inch lathe. 7B shaper countershaft motor mount. Oh, okay, that's all they're selling. What's it look like? Because it really... only got one extra hole drilled there. And it hasn't been busted and repaired. You know, normally you'll see them busted here. Or an ear busted off, something. I guess that's not an extra hole. That's a hole that goes through the casting for whatever reason. I guess that's a tension adjustment, isn't it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, I don't remember. Anyway, price is not too far out of line. $67. So you got a 25 shipping. So you got almost $100 by the time you're done screwing around. I think about $75 in your door is what I would be. Here's another crank handle, brand new, $125.99 and $870 shipping. Last one. Yeah, this is from a seller who's been around, sells used stuff. Let's look at the pictures on this. Actually, let's go back before we look at these pictures. What's the description say? New crank handle, 3/8 square hole. Now, let's go back and look at the pictures on this. He's sold these for a while. I'm going to say these are probably a good viable replacement. You know, he's taken the time, or somebody's taken the time to cast these, broach a square hole in them. They've been drilled and then broached, I'm assuming. I'm going to say these are going to be a reasonable replacement. 125 bucks compared to what these guys are offering, trying to get 200 bucks for original something. If these are indeed a cast iron handle and not a cast aluminum one, which I believe they probably are cast iron from looking at them, this is probably an okay deal. This is probably okay. Do I think they're worth 125 bucks? I'd like to say no. That's probably what they're going to bring. And there's some other shaper parts here. Here's an oil pan for $110. Buy it now. Let's look at this because usually these are busted. Don't recognize the seller. And we have nice oil pan with no repairs or damage. $110. Ugly looking shaft on it, but the pan itself looks to be a decent pan. So yeah, I'm going to say this is going to be a decent enough deal. You know, original cast iron pan. I've always said I didn't think, of course I always say everything's not worth what they want for it, but free shipping on it, 110 bucks. I guess if you need one in this day and age, you're going to give 110 bucks for one. And that's one of the things you see a lot of shapers missing is the pan. Do we have anything else here? Here's a smaller side guard, $280 and $18.40 shipping. Rip off. Rip off. Seller that's screwed us for years. We've looked at several of his things here today. No breaks, repairs, or surprises. Pretty grungy and ragged looking pan. That intrigues me here, this area right here. I guess it's just oil and dirt there that's grungy looking. Paint running down here. What else do we got? Looks like this has been through a fire almost. I mean, maybe not, but look at the way it's as if it had been smoke damaged here and then overheated on the edge or something. Maybe not. Maybe that's just the way it looks, but got the foundry mark in it. It's an original guard. It's not worth 280 bucks and another 18 something shipping. It's not worth 300 bucks. It's worth 125 bucks in your door. That's all it's worth, 125 bucks. .3D printed gear cases, that's bullshit. Got some other parts here. I don't see anything that really is tripping my trigger here. Another counter shaft assembly, 100 bucks and 46.30 shipping. That's too much. I don't see a brake handle there. Yes, from a seller has been around. What lies are he telling here? See photos for what is included. No handle. No, this doesn't have the, this is just the countershaft assembly. I think they only wanted, what, $129 for the first one we looked at. And it had all the mounting brackets, it had the brake handle and everything else. The other problem is, and maybe we could go in and zoom in on them and look at it, but you can't tell condition of pulleys from. Is that a repair in there, or is that just grunge and crap built up? That kind of concerns me there, and they don't show you any pictures. Now look at the corrosion on this. This is sat in the wet forever. You know, you're gonna, they may run fine for you, they may just disintegrate themselves right off the bat. It might be worth $100 for what you're getting there, but not to me. Yeah, see, I'll bet this is the same seller. Now this is the mounting bracket. They want another $20 and $9 shipping. Brake handle, they want another $30 and $18.60 shipping. And those are probably, let's look here. Yeah, these are all the same seller. I'm not going to go and look at them. Yeah, this is the same seller trying to claw and scratch every penny he can get, which I do understand. But here's another small 7B puller guard cover, $199 and $20.05 shipping. These things are only worth $125. This is from that same seller. Good condition, no cracks or repairs. No sense in spending a whole lot of time on these. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that's really telling me anything spectacular. You know, I look for something that's going to jump out at me. This one's got the bracket on the side that some of them had. Gave them a little extra stability, but yeah. $125. That's what they're worth. Countershaft four-step pulley, $79.95 and $18.60 shipping. Same seller. I can tell already from the description. Doesn't tell anything about it. Absolutely nothing in the description. So what do we got here? Looks to be an okay pulley. When you're shopping for pulleys like this, just go through and verify that that the shaft diameter actually is going to fit what you want it to fit. See, what I always look for on a pulley is I'm checking the shivs here, because you can see a wear pattern for one thing, but a lot of times these have been dropped, and there'll be one place, especially on the inner or the outer edges, where they've either been straightened or there's a whoopee in there that you can't really see in the pictures. So just make sure that you're getting a good picture of it when you're looking at these. A couple other shapers. We've got some parts here. Somebody's got another base casting. Why would you need a base casting? No reason at all. $75 and $88 shipping. And it looks just like that. The gall marks along there, I'll bet, if we look at them. Yeah, no reason at all. Brake handle assembly, 1995 and 2060 shipping. If you need one of these, you know, they've come down in price. They tried to get big bucks for these for a while. This one looks like the handle's been changed. Yeah, see, that's not a factory handle. Not a factory knob on there. Otherwise, it's a brake handle assembly. You know, nothing else to really be said about them, but another 4-step pulley, $79.95 and 1860 shipping. This is going to be from the same seller that we just looked at his pulley before, I'm sure, from looking at the thing. Table lift nut, $21.99. Buy it now, free shipping. If they've lifted that table up and down through its life, it's wore out. I don't recognize this seller necessarily, but he's got a lot of feedback. Condition used. Condition is used. Threads are perfect. Threads are perfect, people. You can rest assured they're perfect. Are they now? Let's see. Yeah, we got a little, if they're perfect, we got a little bit of raised burrs there. Yeah, look at the raised burr, which, I mean, it's Zamac. They're going to raise burrs there on the end. But something's wore out, you know. I mean, you look at it after all this many years and you look at that's still on there. They're not perfect. They're wore. They may be there, but they may be shaped fairly well. But those are wore to shit. Look at that. Tops are chipped. Look at the burring on that. This is a piece of crap. Why would you even look at these? Why even look at these? Look at how they're rolled up on the edges there. Those are, both edges are raised up above what would have originally been tooth form right in the middle of those. You know, there's original height of tooth form probably. And then this edge here is raised up. And this thing's wore out. It's a piece of crap. You can't put a value on that because it's worth nothing. Crossrail casting, $39 and free shipping. See, this is one they haven't been able to get rid of. From the thumbnail, this is a sell. Oh no, this is that same seller. $40 and free shipping. Condition is used. That's all they're saying on it. So let's look at it. See how used and abused it is. Stained out on the end. Yeah, we almost have to go in and look. Been painted a couple of times. One time it was green, one time it was looked to be a little beige. Look at the vertical striations going up and down along there, especially on the top. It was a little bit loose and it chattered as it fed across, probably from that table nut. All that would have been a lift table nut. Look at the wear mark on that. Look at that wear line right there. Same vertical chatter marks. You see them on the top portion and not so much on the bottom portion because it was allowing it to tilt. You know, it was doing this back and forth. So there's the first picture we're looking at. Gibbs on this side. This side will be a wear surface. You can't really tell into the shadows from that picture. All it looks pretty grungy. That picture doesn't really tell us anything. I'll pit it out there. There again, all these vertical striations going up and down here. Yeah, same thing, not really showing us anything. Okay, this is going to be top surface. Oh, this is actually bottom surface is what this is. Wear on the ends down here. Wear on this end. Wear on this end, and look at our wear pattern along here. This is wore out junk. So we come back to the thing. They want 40 bucks for it. It's probably worth 40 bucks if you really need one and want to rework one, but it's nothing worth having. Why would you need one? Crossfeed nut, now they're up to 60 bucks and $6.90 shipping. Crank throw block nut, 55 bucks and 5 something shipping. Brand new. Brand new. This S7-32 crossfeed nut. This is when I first started doing castings, my shaper needed the small shaper guard, and at that time there was none available. I couldn't find one, and I finally found a guy out in the Midwest that had a shaper guard, and he needed one of these nuts, so I machined him a nut in exchange for borrowing his guard to make a pattern off of, and that's what I based my patterns off of for all these years for those. Another bottom base, 70 bucks and $100 shipping, $96.65. Shaper bracket with screws, $35 and $9 shipping. That's kind of the going rate for those. Atlas 7-inch metal shaper on-off switch bracket, S7302, S7302G, brand new, $27. Buy it now, $5.40 shipping. This is, let's see here, what is this? What is this? Oh, 3D printed plastic switch bracket. Comes ready, a piece of shit 3D printed stuff on your Atlas machine. This is the only reason I stopped at this one is this is the one that for a while they came out and these were rare. Well, I had one on my machine and I started producing these, so I think these are listed on the website now for, I don't know, 35, 40 bucks. I'd have to go look. I don't even remember. But these are a 3D printed one and they're trying to get $27 and $5.40 shipping on it. Don't put this 3D printed shit on your Atlas machines. I'm using 3D prints a lot for prototyping. I'm building a few little pieces of tooling for in the reloading room. You know, I think 3D printing has its place, but I don't believe it's on an Atlas machine. So anyway, a lot of the same parts I could go on down through. That's the first page of them. Let's not waste any more time on this. Let's go and look at mills real quickly, and then we'll kind of quit this because we've been going on too long already. Here's an XY milling table. This is actually on auction. One bid, $50 and $7.57 shipping. Let's go look at this one just because we can. Oh, this one's been up here before. They couldn't sell it on a buy it now, and the way I recognize it, let's see here, I'm pretty sure this is the same one. The whole there's a whole bunch of pieces torn out of the gibs, or out of the T-slots. A well-used Atlas 6/8 milling vise. Top plate has some missing pieces, not for me to see in the pics. A half turn or so backlash on both axes, but it does work. We'll tighten down the gibs for shipping and remove the hand cranks. Thanks for looking. Maybe this is not the same one, but this is one that's been well used and abused. See, this is the improper handle. This is not the right handle here. They should both have this style handle on them. Center's been ripped out of the T-slots. Yeah, maybe this is a different one, but yeah, this is pretty well used and abused. You can see where it's busted out here, but then it's also cracked on out. Yeah, the table on this is good. Now, if a person were to be able to, why is that hanging so wonky sideways? I believe this is the same table that goes on the lathe for a lathe table type of thing. I think this will fit on the compound on the lathe also. So there's some functionality that could be gained by that. So basically the only thing you're getting here is the two cross traverse angles. You're getting, this is upside down, but from here on up. And yes, I believe the milling table for on the lathe will fit on here. Is the same one. So for the right price, it could be, it could be a functional setup for the right price. Right now it ends in 3 days. So, we can watch and see what it does. But milling attachment for a 6-inch, $200, no bids or best offer, and $30 shipping. There again, these are, 150. They're probably worth $200. They're not worth much more than that. And I'm not going to go look. And I think we're about done playing here. I don't see anything else that really intrigues me. Somebody's trying to get a $400 for a M6501 6-inch lathe milling attachment. They're worth $200. And that's about all I see that really intrigues me. Here's back to this horizontal milling machine, arbor support arm and bracket, M1-9 and M1-60 pre-owned. $300, buy it now, and $42.71 shipping. This is another dope smoker. This is, I don't recognize this seller, although he's got a fair amount of feedback. We've been down this road before. This shaft, if you go back, you can purchase all it is a piece of cold roll stock. You can use any kind of shafting you want. 50 to 75 bucks for a brand new piece of shafting. The bracket, they crop up occasionally. The problem is if you're running an overarm cover, you can't, you normally can't run these supports. I guess maybe you can if you've got enough clearance and everything, but usually there's not. You can't extend them on out to run an arbor and things like that. Yes, these are very useful. This is going to be a later model that's done, but it's a casting. That casting realistically should be worth, good usable condition, that casting should be worth 50 bucks. In this day and age, they're bringing 100. But in my opinion, any kind of a casting, if it's just a casting, especially these smaller castings, they're worth 50 or 75 bucks. So, and this is a later model. It looks like it's a later model. Let's get an end view of that so we can see. No, this is going to be an intermediate model because it does not have the holes for an overarm support, so it doesn't have the support. Bushing is going to have to be replaced in it. That support itself is worth, we're going to say 75 bucks, and another 75 for a brand new piece of shafting. So for 150 bucks, you should be able to have a overarm support. And there again, this won't accept the front bar. This is I think this is either the early or the intermediate. I think this is the intermediate one. I think there was 3 different models of this one. Anyway, not worth 300 bucks. No way, shape, or form. 6-inch milling attachment, M6-500A aluminum jaws, brand new, $37.50 and $7.25. These are the same ones that, what do I sell these for? 10 bucks, I think. Let's go back and look very quickly, just because we can. Where are we here? Okay, the ones for the 10-12 inch are $10. Where's the ones for the 6-inch? $10. $10 for the 6-inch, and that's what I charge. I think they're what, $6 shipping, $8 shipping, something like that. I produce these in-house. You know, normally I've got these in steel too for both the 6-inch and the 10-12 inch. I think I'm out of stock on the 10-12, and I may be out of stock on the 6-inch. Let's see how much these are. I think I've got these on a fixed shipping, but yeah, I charge a flat $8 shipping, flat rate of $8, so it's $18 in your door. So do you want to spend $18 or do you want to spend $45 for virtually the same thing? Let's see. Let's do my own little shameless plug here. I know I've got 10-12 inch in stock. Yep, I've got those in stock. If we go to the yeah, both the 10 to 12 inch and the, let's see, do I have, oh, I've got the 6-inch steel in stock. I normally have 6 and 10-12 inch steel jaws in stock. They're machined and blued in-house. They're $25 and probably that same $8 shipping for steel jaws if you want them. But this aluminum stuff that, you know, I charge $10. That's where I've had them, and that's an okay price for me. So you can give $45 for them if you want, or you can give me 18. You know, shameless plug. Headstock casting, $129 and $12.50 shipping. Why would you need one? Why would you need a headstock casting? You're gaining nothing. This is from a seller we looked at on some shaper parts. Condition used. Comes with one spindle bearing. One spindle bearing. In good condition, but scratches, yada yada yada. Okay, well, let's look at it real quick and see what we see. We don't really see anything except a casting that's been used for years. Why would you need it? No reason at all that you would ever need this. This held the oiler assembly. If you had the factory oiler that had the shaft that came out and extended out and held either a drip tank or a hose running from a drip system. Why would you need one? Same seller, I believe, probably here has the M1-3 base for the MFC milling machine. $139 and $12.50 shipping. There again, why would you need a base? No reason at all. MFC milling machine back gear wrench M127, $39.99 and $12.50 shipping. Same seller. No, we're confused here. All of their description says in good condition, but has scratches, signs of use, and surface marks. These are a piece of flat bar, got a bend in them, and a notch on one end. Maybe you got a hole to hang them up with. I believe what I currently use is a screwdriver with it notched out like that and a bend in it to fit in there. Why would you give 40 bucks for that? No. No, no, no. The prints for these can be had on off of the Atlas list there. Been ground on to get in there. Yeah. 10 bucks. 10 bucks, and we'll be generous and say 8 bucks shipping, because that's what I charge. Now here, MFC milling machine M1A body housing cover plate, M1-14A pre-owned. I actually need one of these for my milling machine that's going back together. This is from the same seller. This is a cast iron cover. Mine's going to be an aluminum cover. I'm certainly not giving $60 for one. You know, this is used in this condition. This is a $20 cover. All it is a flat plate cover. I believe there's some cutouts on the inside of it, or it's not cut out, but it's grooved on the inside of it. Just a rectangular cover with 4 holes in it. All it is. There, see, it's got a boss on the outside. So I'd started building the pattern for this. There again, I've got to get back on to building this stuff, but this is not worth 60 bucks. Pot smokers. Pot smokers. Huh. There we go. Here's the casting, the main body casting. They want 150 bucks and $12.50 shipping. See, they're pulling numbers out of their ass. You can't ship that for $12.50. That's probably a pretty close to $40 to ship that. Yeah, same seller. I'm not even going to read the description. We'll look at it very quickly. We're looking at the back side for the mounts here. Wiring hole, or where the wiring comes through, is there. You know, at one point they had a completed machine, but now they've done away with that. And then yeah, just a casting. Why you wouldn't need it? There's no reason to buy just a casting. Pot smokers, pot smokers, pot smokers. Badging, $50 now. So you're going to, and it's the same seller. I can tell from the thumbnail there. So you're going to forge what your machine actually is. Do a forgery of it by putting other tags on there. Cross-slide gibs. We talked about these before. Build your own gibs. Why would you give $30 for those? And that's what he's doing, is he's parting out all these little parts. $49 for a hand wheel without a handle on it. $49 for the shaft. Now see, this is the early shaft. This will not accept an overarm support. The later ones that accepted the upright overarm support were straight. It was a straight shank through here. So they would clamp on there. Yeah, all of these are just the extra parts. The knee housing casting, $129. Now, they're counting on being able to take your money and get you on all these little parts that you need. Gib screws and lock nuts, $39. I've got parts here for gib screws and nuts. I haven't taken the time to finish machining them and get them ready to go, but they're not going to be nearly that much for a set of lock screws and nuts. These are all just the leftover parts. Leftover parts. Cross-slide housing casting, $49.99 and free shipping. That's one that is relatively, that's one I hunted for, and I think I gave about $35 finally for the one that I bought. $80 for a kick out. Two different kickouts over the years that I've been able to ascertain. $79.99. You know, if I was doing a brand new casting, I'd probably try and get 50-60 bucks for them, but $79.99 for a kick out. Now these guys are smoking dope. 200 bucks for a table. Now there's a usable table for most milling machines. Not worth 200 bucks because you don't really, you know, unless you've got a specific need. Same seller selling out the crap. What kind of condition is this table in? A lot of staining on it, which, you know, they're gonna have staining on them, but that's kind of ugly there. Doesn't look like it was drilled through. Awful dark. What's the bottom look like? That's what I'm interested in, is what the bottom looks like. Here we go. Boy, that out of focus picture, you're not seeing very much there. All of that looks pretty nasty. Underside of this table is nasty looking. Yeah, it's been well used. Yeah, rusty as can be. Why would you need it? You gotta have a table. It's pretty ugly to actually need that. Horizontal milling machine table feed yoke, new, brand new. What do we got brand new here? Okay. Brand new, never used. Let's look at this. Now it's possible that someone's come up with That's interesting. Did someone find some... Okay, this is not a new manufactured part, so this is going to be one that's been around, and I wouldn't think that Clausing would be producing these, although I could be mistaken. That's interesting. I've not seen those. 75 bucks. That one kind of stumps me. That one kind of stumps me a little bit. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I won't comment because I don't know. Power feed assembly pre-owned, $299.99. I will say that guys have had problems with these being tweaked out of shape, bent, things like that. Are they worth 200 bucks for a used one? I don't think so. This is off the machines that have been being parted out, and I would speculate that this looks like it's a conglomerate of a couple of different, well, maybe not. I initially was going to say this is more than one set of parts put together from the differences here in the top cover color and grease distribution and this one. And then we've got well, I guess that's just the back of the, but then you look down here and this grease pattern looks to be pretty much the same, so I'm not sure. Is it worth 300 bucks? No, not as far as I'm concerned. Unless that looks pretty ugly there. That's the pin that locks it in position. I don't know. To me, they're not worth 300 bucks. See, when I look at that, it looks to me like coloration and everything is different on those two. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure that that cover goes with that housing. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and it's, you know. Huh. Interesting. Seeing a few interesting things here, whether they're worth having, but to me, that's not worth 300 bucks. Milling machine motor mount M1-108, $79.99 and free shipping. Buy it now. Well, I think we'll quit right there. You know, we've gone through and I picked some of this stuff apart. And I don't know that, you know, it's back to the same old thing. I don't know that there's really any good buys here. Some interesting stuff. A lot of things prices have gone way up on, just way out of sight. Not worth even discussing, really. But if it wasn't for overpriced sellers, what would we have to look at and talk about if they weren't here trying to cheat everybody out of everything? So anyway, hopefully you find this a little bit useful. Comment suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below, guys. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.